everybody. I'm just outside enjoying this beautiful weather. I had a special request for this week's video to be about baking bread. And that's great for science because you can learn about yeast. I'm going to put on my apron and go inside, and let's get started. One of the things we use to make bread and what causes it to rise is the yeast. And this is the kind we're going to use in our bread. This is the kind you get at the store. If you can see, it's some fine brownish looking granules. That's what we're going to use. But what if the store is out of yeast? And a long time ago people used to make their own yeast. I'm making some here. This one's made with raisins. But it's not working too well, so I think I'm going to have to throw it out and try again, but that's part of science. And then this one I made with potatoes and potato water and some sugar, and it's looking really bubbly. So I'm going to try baking some bread with that this weekend and see how it works. To demonstrate how yeast works, I have mixed up a cup of warm water, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 4.5 teaspoons of yeast into this cup. Have it all mixed up. I'm going to take my mixture and pour it into the bottle. Okay, now I have my bottle full of the mixture, and we're going to put the balloon on top. Now we have our balloon on top, and now we just have to wait for the yeast to go to work. You notice it's starting to bubble up, and the balloon is starting to move a little bit. If you can see it, it will continue to fill up. Okay, let's watch it fill up. The balloon's holding its shape now. You can see all the bubbles down below in the bottle. There we go, look at that. Now the balloon's standing upright. Let's see how big the balloon will get. Okay, if you notice, our yeast mixture has risen all the way to the top of the bottle, and now it is going up in the balloon. I can't wait to see what happens. I just hope it doesn't explode all over my kitchen. No explosions yet. That balloon is getting bigger. While we wait to see how big the balloon gets, let's have a special guest. Mr. Eric is here today, and he's going to tell us the science behind yeast. Go ahead, Mr. Eric.
I've got it. Let's go back to the lab. Hello, students. Now let's talk about yeast. What is yeast? Yeast is a single-cell living organism commonly used for baking and other food-making processes. Yeast can be found on our skins and on the skins of fruits and vegetables. It can also be found in the air. There are several categories of commercial baking yeast. The one we're using today is known as the sugar-eating fungus. This fungus eats sugar and converts it into CO2, also known as carbon dioxide. This process is known as fermentation. It's what causes our bread to rise. When you cut into this loaf of bread, you can see the air pockets created by this process. Now let's get back to Miss Billy Joe.
Okay, I really do think my balloon might be done growing because the bubbles are starting to thin out in my bottle. I don't know, but it looks like it is, so I think that's as big as my balloon's gonna get.
Yeah, maybe this will help. Oh, my face!
Okay, let's mix up our bread. You're gonna need a bag to mix your ingredients up in. You'll need some flour, your yeast, some vegetable oil, some sugar, and some water. Let's get started. Okay, I put 1 cup of the flour into the bag along with 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now I'm going to pour in my warm water and mix it up. And one of the ingredients I forgot was salt. We gotta make sure we have the salt. That's gonna give our bread some flavor. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. As you can see, look at all the air bubbles in my bag. So now I'm ready to add some more ingredients. I'm going to add the cup of flour, another cup of flour, the salt, and the olive oil. Let me put it in the bag. I'm on the bag, those ingredients, and now I'm going to knead it up and mix it well. Okay, I have it all mixed in. Now there's 1 more cup of flour that's left, and I'm going to put that in the bag and mix that up. After you have that flour all mixed in, you're going to sit there and knead it for a good 5 minutes with your fingers like this. Okay, there we go. My arms are tired, but it's all kneaded together, and now I need to put it in the pan so it can rise. This makes 1 big loaf, but I have 2 little pans, so I'm going to take it out of the bag and divide it between the 2 loaf pans. Okay, they're in the pan, and now we gotta wait at least 30 minutes for the bread dough to rise, and then we can bake them. Let's come back and see what they look like after 30 minutes.
Oh, is that your dough, Nancy? That's me dough.
Okay, here we go. It's been 30 minutes and my bread dough has risen, and I've heated my oven to 375, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven, and then we'll have a look when they come out.
I'm coming out. Woo! I want the world to know.
There we have it. There's our bread out of the oven. I'm going to let it cool off a little bit, but I'm going to eat it while it's still warm. Yum, yum.
I hope it's not overbaked. Do you know, that's wickedly delicious.
If anybody does any of our STEM activities, go ahead and take a picture and send it to your teacher or send it to Miss Billy Joe, and we are going to make a video of everybody doing their STEM activities at home. See you next week.